NASDAQ's doing some numbers, man. FOMC minutes came out today, somewhat a little bit interesting to say the least, but the reason why this is all happening across the board, ladies and gentlemen, is simple. They don't trust the dollar anymore, and that is proof. They are printing left, right, and center, but no one's fiat. They don't want your dollar anymore. What do they want? Word on the street is that gold's going to go to 8,500. I mean, what the hell? 8.5K gold. That should easily put silver at roughly around maybe $300-400 an ounce. Ladies and gentlemen, done well. Anyone seen QBTS, by the way? I know you guys are playing that well. We've got movement with Circle and Bullish. I'll show you my positions on those very, very shortly. We did a little bit of trading today, ladies and gentlemen, on the NASDAQ. I left loads on the table because I'm disciplined like that. If I've made some money and I don't trust NASDAQ, then, I've got to pay myself and walk away. But today or tonight, I'm going to give you the case for the parabolic move in Bitcoin. Oh, there he goes again. Tino. He's being optimistic about Bitcoin, right? Get ready to start shorting. Yep. And all the rest of the YouTubers, we always change our minds all the time. You see, because price in people's minds is it can only go up. So when Bitcoin drops, we have a bit of a sentiment. Why did Bitcoin drop? Oh, because this factor. Oh, why has Bitcoin gone up? Oh, because of this factor. Ladies and gentlemen, as long as the US government remains shut, your equities are going to fly. And gold is one of them as well. Tonight's live, I'm going to break it all down for you so you know exactly what we're talking about. And I'm going to give you the case to why we're going to see some more movement to the upside with Bitcoin. All right. And the reason being is because everyone's trying to short it because they're fixed in their mind that there is a possibility that Bitcoin has to drop from its all-time high because that's what it does. Well, no, ladies and gentlemen, there's still too much money being picked up. They are picking up so much Bitcoin. UK has now just lifted the 4-year ban on cryptocurrency. So now we can all start trading crypto and start buying crypto related stuff. It's no longer any limitation. So that is absolutely massive. So what I'm going to do is break it all down for you. I'm going to talk you through my trades that I did today. I'm going to talk you in my positions of where I am with Circle and Bullish. I'm going to dive into the stock market. We're going to explore some more stocks as well in cryptocurrency, which might serve you all. I think we've been doing really well with certain stocks. I know all of you and some of you that traded QBTS have made an absolute killing. A certain gentleman did say to me, Tino, you were calling for Circle around the 230 mark and you're in a little bit of a drawdown. Well, my friend, don't worry. Just don't worry, because the point and the case that I'm going to be making is going to serve you as long as nothing stupid happens in the marketplace. And ladies and gentlemen, it's clear as day that the stock market does not give a damn about what is going on, because investors look at earnings per share. They look at how much money is going into the company, who's getting into bed with each other, who's doing business, and that business leads to profits. That's all it is. It's a money game. And if this is a Ponzi, ladies and gentlemen, let's make some money on the Ponzi scheme then. Let's get with the program, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. So, reading the good old Bloombergage, it says here that stock buyers are now coming into play. The stock market narrowly missed a bear market scenario. All right. And now it's just gone back into dip buying. It's great, isn't it? How 1 minute it's down, next minute it's up. Everyone's emotions can go all over the place. But the market is in the manic phase. So we're going to see a little bit of flavor. As long as the US government stays shut, no problem. Now let's break it down. Check this out. Goes on to say that the stock market rally was on the edge of a bear market and quickly followed by the resurgence of dip buyers on speculation that equities have more room to run despite elevated valuations. This is another classic where economics or theorists, they say something and then they expect it to be reflected in the stock market. The stock market is not the economy is not the stock market, but people will react accordingly to information that could impact earnings per share. As it stands right now, big boys are getting into bed. And what bed is that? OpenAI, AMD, Nvidia, Intel, Throw in the US government on top of that as well. You got partnerships galore. Bullish with their partnership with Deutsche Börse. Okay. Like, what more do you want? Circle with its partnerships as well. And they will continue to release partnerships. Come on, man. This is all about stablecoin dominance. Stablecoin dominance right now is coming in at around 278 or 285 billion. That thing's going. All right. There's going to be more partnerships. And I'm not telling you this because I'm trying to hype you to buy the stock. No, I'm telling you it because this is what happens when you're in an investment or in an area or an industry that is growing so crazy right now that any stock surrounding it is going to see the benefit for it. Going into it, it says the following over here. Check this out. Says that momentum chasing traders kept piling into stocks after a series of records fueled by factors such as corporate resilience and the restart of the Federal Reserve rate cuts. Now, check this out. Today on the FOMC, a few Fed officials could have supported no rate cut in September. Not interested. Why say that? Fed. Most said likely appropriate to ease policy more this year. Thank you very much. That explains why the Nasdaq's going up. That explains why gold is going up, because it goes inverse to the interest rates. Interest rates go down, gold's price goes up. Why? Because the yield on the dollar is lower and that the yield on gold is much more favorable. But gold is a zero yielding asset. Mad, isn't it? Going back into it, majority emphasize upside risks to inflation outlook. Never mind, ladies and gentlemen. The dollar, okay? Sorry I did that, okay? Because even though they've said that they are worried about the upside risks to inflation, okay? There's bigger things they need to be thinking about. No one trusts the dollar anymore. Is this all about debasement? I wouldn't say debasement, but priorities have changed. The article goes on to talk about the following. Money is being printed like crazy, it says here. Printing money like mad, pushing investors to look for alternatives. Is this not what you want? Is this not the moment for price of Bitcoin to head into its parabolic zone? Because people do not trust the dollar anymore. It's true, they don't. Check this out. If the reserve managers continue to divest from not just the dollar, but all fiat monies, gold could continue much higher. It could march higher. If central banks' gold holdings match those of dollars, all else being equal, gold could reach to 8,500. Why not? Why not? You're losing faith in the dollar. Where's the proof of it? I'll show you. Check this out. Oh, this was a nice little projection. Obviously, I was in Singapore and I wasn't able to get any setups out this morning, but I gave the guys, the platinum members, if you want to be part of that, it's pinned to the top of the chat. But I gave the platinum members a nice little setup today and it worked a bloody treat. Very difficult because Bitcoin moves like an absolute nut job. Okay. But the setup was right here. We were looking for Bitcoin to make a move, see the move up from there, wanted to see it come back into that range, to then see the consolidation, to then peak out, to recover. Viva la vector. That's what we wanted. Want to see it go and take that red vector candle recovery zone. Happy days. And you can see bright as day that they did a nice flavorsome move. They came to that entry point and then they moved all the way towards the TP and then they rejected from that zone. Happy days. So now let's get to the case of why Bitcoin's parabolic move could be on the cards. Check this out. Bitcoin is entering into parabolic season. Why is cryptocurrency all based around seasons? Why? Altcoin season, Bitcoin season. Why do they call it a season? Why not a phase? Why not just... Anyways. It says here that seasonality, ETF inflows, and on-chain metrics all agree. So looking at this chart here, it shows you the Bitcoin, the bull market averages. It's just showing you that everything is getting ready to make its significant move to the upside. Let's look at the shorter term. Bitcoin. Ah, man. What did I say to you guys last week? Okay. When I was walking around good old Singapore town. Mad love to my guy, Daryl. You know, the dude that came up to me on my live streams, surprised me out of the blue. Mad love to you, Daryl, man. The good guy. Solid. In front of you is the evidence that the retail trader who is adamant that when Bitcoin hits an all-time high, it has to drop. Not necessarily. Because in front of you, there is going to be a handsome amount of liquidations coming into play between the 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 6 to and around the 125 zone. There's a lot of liquidity there and price is not too far away from it. We're going to see quite a significant amount of high leverage mixed with low leverage as we get towards the around the 123,828. Let's go into the order flow of Bitcoin to back that. I mean, look at it. 30 million at 130,000 getting ready to be sold. We've got the bids and the offers. The offers primarily all coming in with some stackable offenses. Look, 35 right there. Going up, 8 million up there as well. I'm looking for bigger. Yeah, 15 million at 125,188. Then we've also got 5 million at 125,734 up to the top side of the 76. Ladies and gentlemen, stop. Hold on. 76 million at 126,100. Hold on. There was another one. Tell me there was another one. There was two. I swear there was two. Wait there. Because this platform really winds me up sometimes. Come on, where is it? 76 million. I saw it. It was two. I know you guys saw it. What? No? 76 million at 126,100. Damn, there must have been two. 76 million, 100. This is painful. This is painful. 10 million. All right, I was seeing double. Okay, yeah. So it doesn't look like there was, but there is over nearly 100 million close by. 12 million, 11 million, 13 million up there. Just before the 130,000. This is the 130,000 next price point for Bitcoin. Maybe. High block, what's that saying? Let's have a look there. Have a look at the order flow. I mean, man, it's there. Like 792 million open interest at the top side of the range around the all-time high. That's what I mean, man. The open interest is obviously suggesting to us that short sellers are up there because that's back with the idea that you've got lots of liquidity up here between that range. So the logic would say that the idea of the market is to go and attack that zone. And we've already had the support interest down here at 740 million with 121,598 as the key price point for Bitcoin. Let's just start diving into the stock market right now and have a look at our beautiful NASDAQ. I'll show you my trades. Check this out. So NASDAQ, where are you? What an absolute nut job. Yeah, let me show you the Distrust right here. Look at this. Let me show you this. So here is my options play today. All right. This is what I did. I took an option and this was where my entry was down here. And I placed calls in and around the price point of around a strike price of 66. Okay. And at the price point that I closed at was around 175, which was absolutely devastating because it could have been around 8-9 grand that we made today, but we didn't in the end. So what happened was overall the history from when I was opening options and puts on while I was traveling, the actual play itself was right here, £535 and then £1,700, then £911 and £916. So it came to around £4,100, but overall it was £4,711 playing both put options and call options with crypto, with Bitcoin. Let me just change that there so you can see. Yep, here we go. There's the true figure. So £4,064 were today's plays, and that was playing that move to the upside on the NASDAQ right there. Now, I was in the Discord with the guys in the Platinum members, giving them the heads up. I also played this trade as well on my Ninja Trader account, and we managed to make $2,719 on that. So we're just shy of around 6 grand today, UK. Yeah, just under £6,000 trading the NASDAQ today and the S&P. This was on the S&P as well because I opened both positions on the S&P and on the NASDAQ. So, you know, we did really well today for the first day back trading, did well on the options. I'm going to keep on playing my options game. And when I play options, ladies and gentlemen, just to put it into perspective, all right, this is what I do. In front of you is the options trail, okay? And this is effectively the strike price. Obviously, it's closed right now, okay? But what it does is it gives me a price point on the NASDAQ that I think, okay, is it going to start going up or down? What I do with options is very simple. If I look at NASDAQ, because today NASDAQ had this structure, if you look at my entry point on the NASDAQ, it was based on the 1 hour time frame, okay? I opened my option in this area. If you go back to the image that I showed you, look at that. That's where I opened my option, okay? Now, I opened it twice. It's 2 positions. You only see the 1. But I opened my option right here, okay? Why? Why am I opening it in that zone? Look at the chart. Red vector candle recovery. That's what I wanted to trade towards. So I opened the option and I said, I favor calls to the upside. And I opened a few positions and I said that from now up until the end of the expiry, I expect NASDAQ to finish higher than my strike price. And that's what we effectively got. But NASDAQ has just continued. I left money on the table, ladies and gentlemen. But because of the nature of NASDAQ, it moves up aggressively, it moves down aggressively, and the options market itself, it can really make you pay the price, okay? So that worked out to be really well for me, but it's just basic hybrid system, red vector candle, green vector candle, okay? Now, you got to understand that this wasn't just a move that was fueled by just the NASDAQ going back into vector candles. It's the bigger picture of things. Okay, the bigger picture is as long as the US government stays shut, these guys are going to keep on going up. More importantly, if the US government remains shut, investors will keep on going over to assets like gold because they know that they're not getting better value for their money in dollars. Look at the dollar right now. Here we go. Dollar right now is trailing at 0.25%. It's going up as well as gold. But go over to the bonds market. Your bonds ain't doing nothing. Your yields are up. Your yields are up and the stock market is up. What have we said? We've always said that when the yields are up, it's bad for the tech market. Yeah? But no. We're playing a different territory right now. When the yields are up, it's harder for businesses to maintain business because they need to borrow money to conduct their business. But what is this market telling us? It's telling us that companies are cash rich. If they're offering each other positions and partnerships in the excess of hundreds of billions of dollars, cash ain't an issue. It means that they don't need to really borrow anything. So if they're not going into the bonds market and the yields are going up, fundamentally, you think that assets should be going down. No, they are going into assets because investors are saying, we're not interested in holding dollars anymore. So you, as the US government, for you to get our attention, we need higher rates of return in your bond market. But we know that you're going to cut the interest rates anyway. So it's a win-win. We can just go and put our money into the stock market. Backing that logic up, let's go and have a look at our positions. Here we go. Look, my bullish position is in profit, ladies and gentlemen. $195. Awesome. It's been a pain in the ass. It's been stuck in this range. But of course, the partnerships that are coming out with bullish are doing really great. We scroll down and we've got my circle position on leverage, $1,234. Overall, about $1,429 profit in both these plays. Now, if you want to obviously buy tokenized stocks, you can do with BTCC. So that's in the description of this video where you, in this live stream story, where you can buy tokenized stocks, trade Forex, cryptocurrency, and trade NASDAQ all at the same time on the same platform. So if you want that, go and check it out. It's in the description. There's the link, and you get the Traders Reality bonus on there, which is awarded every Wednesday. Okay, and you don't need KYC or VPN if you are from the States. Now, getting into it all, ladies and gentlemen, just to break it all down, let's quickly have a look at some stocks, crypto stocks, and see how they have fared today. In front of you is a list of cryptocurrency stocks, and you can see it's all green across the board, ladies and gentlemen. It's all green for cryptocurrency-based stocks. Quickly going over into the stock market. Let's have a look at bullish. Where are you at bullish right now overall? So now currently trading at $67.32 in the out-of-hours market. It's doing very well to base out in this range right here. Quickly going over into Cypher Mining, who's got into a recent partnership with Google. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we're giving you some flavor. Hold on, let me just pull up my favorite right now. QBBTS. Let's just have a look at that bad boy. Where you at? Oh, $34. It's up 0.93% in out-of-hours markets, ladies and gentlemen. It's doing wonderful. What a call on man. Quantum computers, man. That's where it's at. This thing is killing it right now. Quickly going over into Circle just to put it into perspective, because I know you guys have been picking up Circle. Where are you? Circle. Where are you? Where are you? What the hell you go? Circle Internet Group. There we go. All right. So Circle, slow but sure. All right. Slowly but surely. Accumulations coming into play with this. All right. Getting into lots of partnerships. It's going to be a good sign. But let's just get with the program right now on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, you absolute awesome thing. Right. Here's something you need to take into consideration. The parabolic move for Bitcoin. There is a concept that we need to understand, which is the likely journey that Bitcoin is likely going to take. So what we need to do is we need to go over to the settings of the hybrid system, okay? And what you do is you want to look at the ADR, okay? So what we're going to look at is we're going to get the ADR box. Where's my box? Where's my box? There we go. Here's the ADR table, all right? And I'm going to give you guys a projection on Bitcoin's ADR, all right? So wait for it to just come into play. Where's our ADR? Ah, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Wait there, wait there. Don't go nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. Show ADR pips. That should be there. Come on. There we go. Happy days. Right. You might not be able to see it, but it's all part of the hybrid system settings. If you haven't got that, go over to the Traders Reality website on the home page. Click this right here and walk through the whole thing. Okay? It's just 2 videos. This one is just me telling you guys where the website is, what the website is, and what to expect. And then you've got this one here where it says join the Discord. Join the Discord through here. And then install the indicators right here. And there's the indicator access right there where you just click it and it takes you straight through to TradingView. Now, check this out. Back into Bitcoin. At the top right, the ADR box is the average daily range. If you want to understand what that is in depth, go to the courses section on Traders Reality and take the free course. Take that free course breaking down the hybrid system because it will show you what I'm talking about in more depth. Now, the ADR is the average daily range to the high, to the low, okay? This says at the top that Bitcoin's average daily range is 306,225 pips, okay? I'm giving you a price projection for Bitcoin, so stick around for it. So on average, Bitcoin moves up or down 306,225 pips. Pips is the smallest change in price. So if you look at Bitcoin's price right now, it says 666.31. When it goes to 30, that's a change in the pip. That's the smallest change. If it goes to 32, that's the smallest change. Well, on an average day, Bitcoin will move up or down 306,225 pips based on the previous day's range, okay? So it takes the high, it takes the low, works out the average, and it says on average, Bitcoin is going to move that much. Now, says here that on average, Bitcoin's average daily range times 3, which is the principle of this, W formation, rise up, retrace level 1, rise up, retrace level 2, rise up, retrace level 3, peak formation, okay? On average, each ADR will be around 306,225 pips. That means this is 326,225 pips. Move up to here will be another 326,225 pips. And the move all the way up to here would also be another 306,225 pips on average, which is ADR times 3. So the average daily range times 3 as a projection to the future, whether it's to go up or down. We take the idea of where we are on a macroeconomic perspective. Gold's going up. Everything's going up. US government shutdown. Prospects of interest rates being cut. Massive liquidity injection into AI stocks. Endorsement. Everything is looking great. The logic says that Bitcoin's ADR times 3 to the upside will be 918,676 pips. Now that's on potentially on a weekly basis. Okay. So from Sunday to Sunday, Bitcoin would achieve an ADR times 3 of 918,676 pips. Okay. Now this is where it gets interesting, ladies and gentlemen. If I go back into the settings and I pull up the weekly one, all right? So where's my ADR? I haven't got the weekly. I usually have the weekly. Average weekly range, wait there. I haven't got it on this one. My bad, I haven't got it. Usually the weekly, okay? So 918,676. If Bitcoin were to maintain the average of its movement, right? Then 918,676 pips would look like this. So we go 980, 918,676. So we're going to keep on going and going. Okay, cool. Here we are. So our pip movement would be right there. That's our 918,000. There you go. Can't get it on the nose, but there you go. We'll go 919,000. Okay, cool. If and only if the following comes into play. And just listen, just take this with a pinch of salt, ladies and gentlemen. It's not indefinite because this could equally mean to the downside. But where are we right now? We're in obviously a big phase right now in cryptocurrency. Everything is going up, okay? Because you're on the path of interest rates being cut. It's easing. That's good news. And because we don't know where we are with the labor market, the market's like, you know what? We don't know, so we don't care. NASDAQ's at all times high. It's like, so what, man? Just fucking buy anything you want. Anyways, here's my logic. If we're going to go on Bitcoin's price right now, yeah, that it achieves on a monthly basis the average of 1 million pips roughly, okay? If October is what it is, in a month, there's 4 weeks, okay? If it takes a week to achieve 918,676 pips, that means in the month of October, let's just say from the 8th of October to the 8th of November, and we assume that everything is all good, all right? Then logic says that from this current price point, because this is the start of the week, from this current price point, ladies and gentlemen, the idea is that we multiply this out 3 times and it sustains the same average. Bitcoin's price over the next month could achieve 152K. That could be the case. From an ADR perspective, that means for every time it does the following, imagine W formation, stick with me, W formation, rise up, retrace level 1, retrace level 2, retrace level 3, peak formation, drop, retrace level 1, drop, retrace level 2, retrace level 3, peak formation, rise, retrace level 1, level 2, level 3, peak formation, and it continues. That right there is, in essence, a mathematical logic for Bitcoin. Now, let's just look at the bigger picture. Macroeconomically speaking, no one is looking for dollars, ladies and gentlemen. They're not interested in dollars. They're just not. Okay? Investors are interested in gold. Investors are interested in... Oh my God, it nearly hit 50. Oh my days, our silver nearly hit $49. We're very close to a projection on silver. Okay? Nvidia is up 2.2%. A heavyweight. Volume, is it above average today? Bear with me. Hold on. Oh my days. Retail's really doing something here, guys. It really is. Volume is above average and the market is not even closed. No, the market is not closed at all. Well, hold on. Let's have a look. No, the market is not closed at all. Volume is still coming in and it's above average from compared to 1, 2, 3. So the last 3 trading days where 2 of them were above average on distribution, that means selling, this day's volume has succeeded that and they're trailing at the highest point of the candle. You go and have a look at NASDAQ right now and you can see that on the futures markets. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. It can't go any further up. Even my computer's struggling right there. Look at that. Look at that. It's just, where are you going, NASDAQ? Stop it. Stop. Going into tomorrow's data, you can see that we have got wonderful, good old Bank of Japan Ueda speaking. It's going to be interesting to hear what he has to say. If he says that they're not going to be increasing the interest rates, the markets are not going to stop. They're going to keep on going up, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we are supposedly going to get the unemployment claims tomorrow. And if we do get the unemployment claims and they don't tell us that we're getting the unemployment claims and they just push it out, then okay, cool. But as it stands right now, US government shutdown, they're probably not going to get that data at all. Okay. So it's going to be an interesting one going into Friday, ladies and gentlemen. But looking at NASDAQ, it is doing absolutely wonderful. And it's a solid day for the NASDAQ. And that's what you need in order to justify the idea of a bullish market. So backing the case for Bitcoin's parabolic move. The open interest is suggesting that we've got liquidity all the way at the top side right there. That logic says that we would expect them to try and take. I've been introducing this to you all, and we've been talking about it. And I said, this is the only next logical spot for Bitcoin to go to. Happy days, it's gone to it. And it's now accumulated even more positions when it came back into it to suggest the idea that investors are actually buying the dip. There's favor for higher prices on Bitcoin. Not to forget about the fact that the ETF balance is nearly capping nearly 800,000, ladies and gentlemen. Look at it. Here we go. Nearly 798,744.7. That's where your Bitcoin's going, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you're going to get your parabolic move, because your supply is being eaten alive by these guys. Well, not these guys. They're just buying it on your behalf. So just remember, put that into perspective. And then, of course, Tuesday's action. That was Tuesday's action. But let me just quickly go over into what else was I doing. That's it. The ETF. No activity on the BlackRock ETF. But I spoke about this earlier on with you all, ladies and gentlemen. But a key factor is you've got all these liquidations that are fueling Bitcoin's price. Remember, Bitcoin's price right now is being fueled by futures behavior, not spot. That's something you've got to really take into consideration, ladies and gentlemen, when you are playing crypto. Articles I won't go on a few journalists, journal websites. I went on a financial journal, and there was a gentleman on there talking about the idea that futures pricing of Bitcoin is reflective of its true value, not the spot market. How crazy is that? Why? Because the volume that are surrounding the futures markets is so evident right there. Okay. Sorry about that. My voice is going. Just go and have a look at some other assets. Oh, Solana. That was our projection for Solana today. Yep. So if anyone took the Solana trade, congratulations. You smashed it. Going over into Ethereum, like always, like a dog, doesn't really do anything, but it came up nicely and it's only come back into the range again. So unfortunately, Ethereum didn't quite hit the TP, but we caught an awesome entry in that range for that. And let's just go over to XRP. Anyways, Bitcoin. Yeah. So any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Stupid asset. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? I can see you've got it here. None of you have liked the stream. Tino, USD Forex pairs are losing against the dollars. This is correct. Tino was with the Singapore girls. No, I wasn't. One woman came up to me and she was, it's called the Lucky Plaza. I was like, okay. All right, then what you got for me? And she says, hello, handsome. You want to go lucky? I started laughing. I was like, no, thank you. And then Sam was walking next to me and I was like, dude, go, 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 go. He's like, no, stop it. Anyway, that was so funny. Any questions? Price projection for ETH. Price projection for ETH. ETH, I believe, obviously with the delaying of the fork and what have you. Look, I expect Ethereum to come back up. But the problem we've got with Ethereum, guys, is it just doesn't move to its all-time high. It's given us a little bit of a kiss. But it just seems to be struggling. Now, the dominance, oh, God forbid I talk about the Bitcoin dominance and that, Bitcoins and altcoins are going to win and all that stuff. Let me tell you something, and I will say it. And I know that I've lost people on the channel. I've lost subscribers probably because I am saying it, okay? But if your altcoin is not being considered as an ETF, your altcoin ain't doing nothing. It's true. Unless there is a significant partnership coming into it, unless your altcoin is showing volume. Remember, the S&P is starting to come into an index. It's going to create an index for cryptocurrencies. That's taking 15 cryptocurrencies and 35 cryptocurrency-based stocks. Okay? So what 15 cryptocurrencies do you think they're going to be talking about? Well, firstly, it has to surpass an average volume of around 100 million a day, but market cap of around 300 million at minimum. Where does that put us? Have I got the article here? No, I haven't. All right, I spoke about it in today's live. What cryptocurrency stocks do you think we're going to be talking about? Bitcoin's going to be up there. Ethereum's going to be up there. Solana's going to be up there. Not Job XRP is going to be up there. BNB could be up there. Okay? Right, let's just wait there. Okay? Wait there. Let's put things into perspective. You go to Coin Market Cap, right? Let me just have a look at cryptocurrencies ranking. And let's just go by market cap, okay? Check this out. So, look at this. Who do you think's going to get it? Bitcoin, most definitely. Ethereum, most definitely. XRP up there, 5th, most definitely. Solana, then, awesome, definitely. Dogecoin, most definitely. Tron, definitely. Cardano, definitely. Hyperliquid's just recently come about, but I don't know if they would consider that. But Chainlink, most definitely. Okay, maybe Sui, maybe Estella, Hedra, Avalanche, all coins that are listed maybe in for DeFi, they have a strong chance. Maybe Shiba Inu, the volume is there. Those are, in essence, your altcoins. Some of you might challenge me on it. I get it. You want to defend your bag, but you've got to come to the reality that cryptocurrency has changed. It's changed because you wanted Wall Street. You got your Wall Street. Now your supply's over here. There it is. There's your Bitcoin. Look at it. Look at that. Over 1 million Bitcoin is stacked right there. They're eating it alive. This is the true money heist. This is the theft of crypto. And now that you've got the idea that the dollar is just taking a nosedive and no one wants the dollar. Look, if reserve managers continue to divest from not just the dollar, but all fiat monies, gold could continue to march higher. Gold's off. That's my logic. And you might not like it if I say Bitcoin dominance might be going higher. Oh, I don't understand this. I don't understand that. Listen, man, I'm telling you guys that well, I get it. If your bag is made up of a lot of altcoins and you're wondering when it's moving, if you keep on having to ask the question, when's my bag going to move? And you've witnessed all of the other altcoins and other things moving, and you're not part of that, you really have to reevaluate what you're holding. There's a reason why certain altcoins are cheap. There's a reason why altcoins ain't doing nothing. And there's a reason why people are holding on to the idea of what altcoins used to do. You used to not have BlackRock. You never used to hear about cryptocurrency in the news. Are you mad? Bloomberg talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now it's hitting its main page all the time. It's up there with gold. Gold is the haven. Gold is the safe haven. And Bitcoin is now up against it. There was never talks of the dollar this, dollar that, or debasement, or, screw the dollar. World reserve currency, man. Do you understand? Legacy markets, legacy traders only know dollar and gold. Now Bitcoin's come in and stepped up as the next candidate. Like I said to you before, if investment portfolio managers exercise the practice of splitting their portfolios, 60% stocks, commodities, real estate and all that, and then they have 40% exclusively in the US bonds, well, ladies and gentlemen, looking at the way things are going right now, the US bond market ain't so great. The reverse repo agreement ain't even encouraging Wall Street investors to get into it, and that is Wall Street savings account. They can't even hit trillions. They're just stuck at billions now, and when they do give the reverse repo, they only make about $15 to $25 billion. That is piss poor. That should be in the trillions of dollars. Wall Street should welcome risk-free money, and it's not even going to it. It's going elsewhere. So reevaluate your logic when you're investing in altcoins, unless there is a major partnership coming along or a major endorsement from someone. You may need to reevaluate your bag. Of course, if Bitcoin goes up, everything goes up. But in my opinion, just look at your environment. It's changing. You wanted Wall Street. Well, it is here. So old practices might need to be adjusted. You might need to come out of your mind of, oh, back in the day. What are you here for? You're here to, don't even chat shit to me and tell me you're in it for the tech. I know you're not in it for the tech. I know that. And if you are in it for the tech, you are going to be the one holding the bag. And that's the shoe bag. And we all know what the shoe bag means. Sorry if I say something that you might not like. Probably some of you are just probably sat there on the other side of your screen saying, fuck you, Tino. Okay, cool. But I'm not going to sell you no BS story. I'm not going to be hyping you up just to retain your bag. What's the point? I'm giving you opportunity after opportunity, giving you other ways of trading, other ways of understanding other markets, because I know none of you, some of you probably, but from my perspective, when I started talking about cryptocurrency, none of you were even considering the dollar. Then all of a sudden you start hearing everyone talking about dollar dominance. Everyone's just focused on Bitcoin. Oh, it's because it's traded against the dollar. Yeah, okay. Now you pay attention to the dollar dominance. None of you were paying attention to the yields. No one gave a shit about the carry trade. And I already knew that was the case because when the carry trade unwind of the 5th of August came into play, everyone was like, why did Bitcoin drop? Wrong. You're telling your people the wrong thing. Well, we were obviously letting you guys know about the carry trade. I really do hope that information that I give you, you really do put it to work. Am I right all the time? Not at all. No, I'm not. And I'll stand there and admit that to you. I'm not going to try and give you no BS story and be like, I'm right all the time. I'm not. All right. I've got the balls to say it to you. If I'm right, happy flipping days. You're making money. All right. But we always right? Not a chance, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the truth of this game. It's the hardest, easiest way to make money. I'm Tino. Welcome to Traders Reality. And I hope you do like the stream. Mad love and respect.